Okay, so I'm going to tell you how I'm going to modify this harness. All right, so like I said, we're not going to use this switch, and then we're going to cut the wire harness. All right, hold this. All right, I'll probably leave this much. I'll cut it like right around here. I'll leave this much so we can add an extra wire. So I'm going to cut this wire and cut whatever wires that go to this out. All right, this whole part of the loom right here. It's the one with the plastic kind of sheathing. The other one is kind of this kind of accordion looking wire loom. Okay, and I'm going to extend it with this guy. All right, with this another kind of blue wire. I chose this wire because it looks similar in thickness. All right, to I think this is one like a 12 gauge or something, 12, 14, something like that. All right, we're going to extend this blue wire. All right, and then that's what we're going to connect the daytime running light to. Okay, this is the ground. You're going to connect that to a bolt, some kind of grounded surface in the engine bay, and then the red wire. All right, the red wire is going to connect to that. So I'm going to the next thing I'm going to do to modify this is I'm going to cut this ring terminal off. All right, and we're going to install a spade connector on it. Okay. All right, so that's the plan. When I get it done, I'll show you what it looks like. All right, and then we'll go install these. Here's me up. Okay, here's me here, and I've gone ahead and modified the harness. All right, as you can see, the switch is over here. All right, this is a switching harness right here. I chopped the whole thing off from there. You can probably still see some of it left in there, but it's okay. And then this is the blue wire for the trigger. All right, I left like a couple inches left, and then I attached that piece of blue wire to that. Okay, it's almost the same color, it's just transparent. And then I put a spade connector on the red with the white stripe wire. Okay, and then we're just gonna have to figure out where we're gonna put the relay and the fuse. All right, this comes with a separate fuse, very easy to find, 15 amp fuse. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be like a fuse. Well, actually, where we're connecting it to isn't fused, so I guess it's a good idea to have a fuse on it. So it's always a good idea to have a fuse on it. All right, that's what I say. All right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna zip tie or tape this this piece of blue wire to the rest of this right here, and then I'm gonna wrap tape around the relay here. Okay, and then that'll help seal water out and stuff. Okay. A little bit, and then maybe do the same here. I'm not sure. Should be fine, I guess. Okay, so the black wire will be the same. All right, the black wire will have this ring terminal on it because we're going to connect it to some kind of bolt. Okay, so I left that one like that. Okay, so all the modifications for the wiring harness are done. This is the wire harness installation portion of the video. All right, so right off the bat, I'm going to remove the fuse relay cover. Oh, it's already loose. I guess I forgot to put it back on. Alright, so that's where we're going to be working, and then we're going to be connecting it to this connector right here. Okay, so I'm going to get that out already. So where is Hades Mega going to tap this daytime running light? Well, the daytime running light is right here. Okay, see this right here? Right here. So this 3 wires connector. Okay, all you got to do is squeeze it. All right, there's a little kind of tab here, and then pull back on it. Should come out. Okay, there you go. Try not to pull too hard, you might pull the wires out. Okay, so that's what the connector looks like. It's a 4-pin connector, but there's only 3 wires connected to it. Okay, and then I think when we run the passenger side wire to the driver's side wire, I think I'm gonna run it under here. All right, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, I'll figure it out. So Hades Vegas is just gonna figure out how I'm gonna route this wiring harness, and then I'll show you what I got when I got it done. Okay. All right. Okay. So before I install the relay, all right, I'm gonna put dielectric grease on it. All right, and then I'm gonna wrap it with some electrical tape. So, all right, that should help keep moisture and stuff out of there, keep it from corroding and stuff. So I plan to not touch this at all for a while. Okay. So yeah, I've got it on there. You can see the goop in there. Okay, and that's the dielectric grease that I'm using. tune-up dielectric grease.
Okay, so it's been almost an hour now, and I'm pretty much almost done with the wiring. I just have to make one more connection, sort of, kind of. All right, so so the passenger side light is like the hardest one to do, so I would suggest you do that one first. All right, or yeah, for first I started at the relay. Okay, so I mounted the relay right here. Okay, where that bolt is. All right, I just took the bolt out and I stuck it in there. All right, and then the ground. All right, the ground I have connected to that bolt back there. All right, so it's nice. It's a nice place to ground it. All right, and then and I have the fuse mounted to. So yours probably won't have this. I have a Cusco strut bar, and it has this little thing sticking out here, this metal thingamajigger sticking out. And all I did was put 2 zip ties around it, and it just kind of just sits there. It sits there kind of loose though, so I don't know. I might want to put something in there to keep it from moving around. But for now, that'll work. So I could easily pretty much slip that off like that, but it actually fits in there quite nicely. So I don't want to say. All right, and if you got to access it, you just pinch it and open it. Okay. There you go. Pretty good. Yeah, that might come out. It's pretty loose, and you know, I'm gonna drive this thing off road. This thing might pop out, so I'll find a better way to secure it later. All right, but that'll do for now. And then for the power wire, all right, we go in here into the relay and fuse box here. All right, open that up like I planned. It's hard to do with one hand. Okay. All right, what I did is I drilled a hole right here. All right, I used a 1132 drill bit. All right, and one of these grommets, this diameter, this 3/8 diameter, what's it, what I call it? A grommet. All right. So basically, I drilled it right here. All right. What I did is I put the fuse box on. And then I marked it with a silver pen. All right, you can see a little bit of the silver mark right there. And so I know that's where the cover ends. All right, when you put the cover on, that's where the cover is gonna be on. All right, so you can close the cover all the way, so you don't get, you know, dirt and all that stuff in there. All right, and then this goes in there. All right, and then this is gonna connect. When I'm ready to go, it's gonna connect to that right there. All right, that little blade sticking out there. Okay, I've already tested it, and the lights do work. All right, in fact, I can show you right now. Okay, so this is the jumper terminal right there. Right, that's if you need to jump your Rav4, that's what you would use. But basically, we're gonna connect it right there. Okay, that gives power to the relay, and then the trigger wire is right here. All right, and then. So I'm going to touch the trigger wire onto the jumper terminal, and then the light should turn on. You'll hear a click, okay? Hear that click? All right, and the lights are on. Got it? And that's kind of hard to hold. Okay, they work. So the final connection I need to make is the blue wire, all right? And so I routed the blue wire behind the fuse box right here, and it's going to connect to the black wire on this. All right, so this is the time I gotta bust out the soldering iron. I want to solder it. You could use one of those little tap thingies if you want, those mechanical little, I call them vampire taps, but I want it's going to be in the engine bay, and it's going to be subjected to some vibrations, especially if I drive this thing off-road. So I would prefer to solder it, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna cut it right here. All right, and it's just basically, it's long enough to follow this. All right, and then so the next thing I did is I installed the passenger side wire. All right, wire harness, and I got that coming down here. All right, you can see the harness right here. All right, right here. Okay, and then so the driver's side just goes down there. Okay, you can see, and then the passenger side goes up here. I've got it zip tied right here, and I got it coming underneath the airbox snorkel, and then it's kind of hiding. So it's under the airbox snorkel, but you can hide it underneath here. Okay, the radiator support. That's what that is. Okay, I just got it tucked up in there. Okay. Okay, and then it kind of comes out here. I'm going to put a zip tie right around here. I put the zip tie in there first, and then I found out, oh, I don't have enough wire to do the driver's side, so I had to take it out and pull it back that way. So once you got that one where you want it, you can start zip tying this in place. So I got a zip tie. I'm going to put a zip tie right here. All right, and then I got it going behind the neck, the water neck for the windshield washer reservoir. I got it going behind there. You can have it the other side if you want, and it's going down into there. Okay, and then it's plugged in to the fog light right here. Okay, I got it zip tied to one of the harness wires right here, and yeah, so it looks good. All right, and then so before I put everything back together, I'm going to just make sure that the fog lights are at least the same level with each other. All right, before I put everything back together, because it looks like it's kind of a pain to get in there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and so we were going to connect it to this black wire right here. All right, so I'm gonna solder it to that wire. I'm gonna snip it right here because I've already pre-measured it, and then solder it to there. All right, and then we plug it in. All right. Okay, so before I cover it up, there it goes. There's my handiwork. I wish I soldered it a little bit closer to the connector, but whatever. I mean, I guess I could get a knife and cut this open a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm gonna put some tape around that. But yeah, I've soldered it to the black wire. All right, and then we're gonna go do the thing. So we'll test it out in a second. Okay, that's what it looks like after I've wrapped it up. Okay, let's go plug it in. I think it's gonna go this way, and then I will make this a little neater after. But trying to get this wiring done. Okay, we just got to go connect this guy back in. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and connect the power wire. Okay. It's kind of neat in there. Okay, and then now if I turn the headlight on, the light should turn on. All right, so I'm gonna go turn it on. Okay, and they should be on. Okay, good. The daytime running light is on. And the headlight's not on. Oh yeah, so it's in running light right now. All right, there it is. Ooh, it's nice. It's beautiful. It's the same color as the headlights. Awesome. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn the headlights on. All right, headlights on. Fog light should still be on. Okay. Cool. It works. There it is. All right, now I don't have any funky extra switch. I do wish I kind of had an on-off switch so I could manually turn it on and off, but that's okay. It's just gonna work with the headlights, you know. All right, now I turn it all off. It should turn all off. All right, we don't want it draining our battery or anything. All right, cool deal. All right, so and then yeah, so since it's wired to that light, whenever that light turns off, the fog lights will turn off. So I have the settings on my Rav4 where I open the door and the lights automatically turn off. I think you can also program it to. I think from the factory it stays on for like a few seconds, and then it turns off. Not a few seconds, more like a minute. And when you open the door, and you lock it, it'll stay on for a little while, and then it'll turn off if you have the headlights still on. Okay, if you have the headlights off, then the headlights will be off no matter what. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to close my garage door, and I'm going to attempt to aim these before thing. All right. So one thing I noticed is that when I was plugging this one in, like the light moves a little bit. Watch. Oh, if I push it down. Oh no. No, it's on there. Oh, there you go. See? Yeah, it moves. See? So I think you want it to be down like that. All right. Hopefully it doesn't move around while we're driving. Okay. But yeah, just make sure they look straight, type of thing. But it looks good. There's going to be a little gap here I guess that's normal, I guess. Yeah, there's a gap. I can get my fingernail in there, so. But yeah, it looks great. Okay, so I'm gonna go close the garage, and then we're gonna go run the fog light, and then try to aim it, all right? Okay, we're gonna do the old shine your car on a wall trick, all right? So I'm gonna turn the fog lights on, all right? This probably helps if it was a little bit darker than this, but there you go. And just make sure that they look like they're the same level, and I think they are. I don't think we have to do anything to it. Yeah, it would be better if it was brighter. But just look at it, and then try to adjust it if you need to. But I think it's fine. I think that'll be fine. I mean, should we aim it a little lower? I don't know. I guess we'll find out one thing. But so I can see the beam like right here, all right, and like right here. Yeah, like basically in the middle where this triangle is, or rectangle, triangle. Yeah, so it's in the middle of the rectangle. I think that's fine. They're both at the same level. All right, now whether we have to aim it higher or lower, I don't know, but I'm just gonna leave it at what it was when I first put it on, okay? All right, so yeah, I think it's good. I'm not gonna mess around with it. You can adjust it left and right, okay? And so you can only adjust it up and down with that screw in the back. All right, this one back here. Yeah, right here. You would adjust, so if you wanna adjust it up or down, you would turn this screw or bolt right here. This little knob thing, okay? But I don't think I'm gonna adjust it at all. I think that should be fine. I don't think I messed around with it at all, so. They look like, I'm just worried about them being the right level, all right? If one is up and one is down, then that's a no-go, but it looks fine to me, so I'm not gonna mess around with it. Okay, so now it's time. So now that I've verified that the beams are at least the same level as each other, I'm gonna go put the car back together. Okay, so I'm not gonna, yeah, I'll do one side. Okay, I'm gonna go over one side. Okay, the last side I was working on, but it's pretty much the same for both sides. So I'm gonna take my little tie here out. All right, it helps a whole lot, by the way. Okay, take that out. Kind of mess it up a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. All right, and then yeah, start putting it back together. So I believe you want to put the liner back in as good as you can. Okay, so I'm going to start putting the liner back in. I'm going to put the plastic on top of the liner. That's the way it was before. Okay. I believe the liner is supposed to go, I believe the liner is supposed to go behind the bumper. I think it is. No. Well, it's supposed to be sandwiched between the bumper and thing. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and press the rest of the clips in. All right, I'm gonna start from the inside. Okay. Make sure that the liner is sandwiched between the bumper and the and this guy. Okay. And then go ahead and start putting these guys back in. Okay. There's one. There's 3 of them here on the center. I know it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing, but okay. Pop that one in. Right here. One more. Okay. One more right here. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the screws back in. I believe the longest one goes right here. Okay, I know the 2 smaller ones go on the top. All right, so go ahead and install those. Okay. You don't have to put it super duper tight in this one back here. So these are all the small ones. tighten it too much. It's not wanting to bite anymore. Okay, make sure all this trim is flush with the car. Okay, and then we're gonna go install the 3 bottom screws. Okay, pull this out a little bit and try to push. There you go. Okay, so yeah, that's good. So remember, all the liners got to be behind the bumper. Okay. Now, this back. Okay, and then I'm going to put the 3 on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to put the 3 bottom screws back on. Already kind of got one on there. I think they're all the same size, so. Okay, so I'm done installing this side. I'm just gonna get a accelerated video of me doing the other side, and then that should be pretty much it. After that, we just need to tidy up the wires and we're done. All right. Okay, I'm just doing some last bit of tidying up here. Okay, so I don't know, I kind of don't like having all these red wires hanging out here, but it's fine. So what else are we going to do with it? I'm going to try to find a way to keep this, make this a little more secure. It's a little loose. I'm afraid it's just going to pop right out. Well, I don't know. You know what? I'll leave it there, and then if I do catch it popping out, it's not a big deal if it pops out, you know. You can hang there. It'll be fine. All right, the relay is very secure though, okay? And then the ground looks pretty secure. All right, so I got the wire going in through here. There's a grommet right here. I'll try to see if I can plug this hole up a little bit better than that. It's a little loose, okay, but it should be fine. Okay, stick that in there. Make sure that's in there nice and tight. Okay, we're good to go. Put the cover back on. Hopefully it goes back on fine. Yep, it goes on there just fine. It doesn't, the hole doesn't interfere with it at all. All right, and yeah, so there it is. That's what it looks like when it's done. You can't even tell I did any funky wiring except for this red wire that's coming out here. There you go. There you go. That looks a little better. If it's all right. Yeah, and then so you've got this wire right here. Yeah, I might want to zip tie that to something, but it looks fine. I wish I'd ran it behind this a little bit, but that's okay. There's plenty of space to work with in here actually. So okay, and then you might be able to see the fog light in there somewhere. Look for a little heat sink. Yeah, it's right over there. There's a little heat sink right there. Okay. But everything looks good. I don't see any wire. You don't. Oh yeah, I still have to zip tie this right here. But other than that, I think we're good to go. Okay. Just make sure the wire isn't around anything that'll get really hot. All right. While it is on top of the radiator neck, I think it should be fine because it's got a little shroud over it. All right. And just make sure it won't touch any of the fans or anything. I've got it here on top of the fan. What I might want to do is zip tie it to the latch right here. There's like a hole there, so I'll do a little more tidying up off camera. Okay, but yeah, there it is. It's done. Let's close the hood and take a look. It's getting a little dark now. So we're gonna do one last test. After I got everything all buttoned up, I'm gonna fire up the vehicle. I have the headlight. I'm just gonna talk over tell you what switch mode I'm in. All right, I'm gonna turn it on. All right, the headlights should be off because none of the headlights are on. I'm gonna put it on auto mode, so it's pretty dark right now, so they should all turn on. Okay. All right, I'm gonna turn just the daytime running light on. Okay, for just the running lights, and then this is the headlights. Okay. And then I put it back on running lights. All right, so whenever the daytime running light is on, the fog lights will be on. Yeah. Oh yeah. They're bright. I like it. All right, let me put the headlights back on. Okay, headlights are on. What do you think? Looks great, yeah? Yeah, I think it's real good. So the camera is pretty much at the same level as the headlights right now. And you can definitely tell, you can see the fog lights. The fog lights aren't in your face, all right? Let's move the camera up a little bit. There you go. So you can see the cutoff right there, the cutoff for the headlights. I've got the camera set at a height where it's just below the cutoff. If I move it just a little bit higher, there you go. Okay, but I like it. I'm really happy with these fog lights. They're the exact same color as the headlights. All right, there's nothing more cheesy than having this, those kind of yellowish looking halogen lights, and then you've got some nice bright LEDs or HID lights, and they're like off color. All right, but the fog lights that I bought, all right, the OEM, supposedly they're OEM Toyota fog lights. It's just all LEDs. All right, no bulb in there. It's a full LED housing type of dealy. So when it goes bad, you got to replace the whole thing. That's the bad thing. All right, but there it is. Okay. Okay, so for the final test, I will turn the vehicle off, and then I will open the door. All right, and then when I open the door, all the lights should go off. All right. Okay, I'm going to shut the door, turn the vehicle off, the headlight should still stay on. Okay, all the lights should have turned off. Okay, good. So that should be it. Cool deal. Alright, hey, he's right here. So these are just the kind of closing notes, alright, closing vlog for my fog light installation vlog, alright. It definitely turned out the way I wanted it to. It's exactly how I wanted it to turn out. I'm really happy with the color. Okay, I'm really happy with the color of the LED fog lights. They're pretty much the same color as the LED headlights. All right, they look great. All right. Honestly, I would be happy with just the halogen with the LED bulb and the housing too. That would be fine. But I'm going to give these a try. We'll see how long they last. Is what I want to say. The verdict is out if it's a real Toyota part, all right, because I got it from China. I'm not sure, okay? But one thing's for sure, it's a little more expensive if you buy it in the United States, okay? So I will have a link for the kit that I used. I got it on eBay, all right? I'll have a link to that eBay auction or where I bought it from if you want to buy this kit, all right? I'm not very happy with the wiring harness, but I made it work, okay? I made it work, and I didn't have to run any wires into the cabin. All right, and basically I've got the fog lights wired up to be like a daytime running light. Okay. Also, they have different kits that have like a daytime running light little bar here and some other stuff. I was pretty happy with this. Okay, I don't want anything too fancy like that. I think it looks great just the way it does. All right, with the fog lights, it looks great. Okay. So for the installation, note if you have any if you have a PPF installed. Oh man, there's something bubbling here. Man. Gotta fix that. So okay, yeah. If you have any PPF installed, it may lift the stuff underneath the cover, the bezel. It might have lifted. All right, and in my case it did. All right, it lifted. It's bubbling in a couple places, and my suggestion is to take care of that before you put the bezels on, because it'll be easier. Okay, but yeah. Okay, yeah. So it is now 20:30. I started at 16:30. No. It's 20:30. I started at 5. I started at 1700, and now it's 20:30. All right, so that's three. It took me 3.5 hours to install these. All right, from start to finish. I think it took almost 2 hours to actually install the fog lights into the bumper. And then I think it took another like hour, like an hour and a half to do the wiring, or maybe like an hour to do the wiring, and then I had to put everything back together. That's another like half hour or so. Okay, putting it back together wasn't too hard. Yeah, just trying to figure out where to take everything out was the difficult part. But putting it back together is actually even easier, because you don't really need the tools to take the clips out and stuff. The clips just pop right back in. They're actually pretty nice. Okay, yeah, so that's it. So it took me 3.5 hours to do it. I think if you do what you were doing, you could probably do this in like 2 hours, all right? And I have it soldered to the daytime running light wire, and that's the way I wanted it to run, all right? If you want it to run a different way, then you're going to have to wire that trigger wire somewhere else, or you have to put that switch inside the car, all right? It would have been nice to have an on-off switch, honestly. But I think it's fine. I don't mind if it runs like a daytime running light. All right? I'm pretty sure the consumption on these LED bulbs is not a lot. All right, it's probably less than 30 watts or something. That's my guess. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And that's my fog light installation vlog. I hope this is has been an informative and educational video for you guys. It's not kind of like a how-to. It's just kind of like you're just following Hayes Omega along as he installs fog lights onto his vehicle. All right, and this is the way I wanted it to be done. All right, specifically with that kit. All right, I wanted to give those fog light units a try, and so we'll see. Maybe I'll do a follow-up review on how they're doing. Maybe like 6 months later or something. All right. I have driven through some really foggy conditions, and then I wish I had some fog lights. That's all I say. All right. That being said, I don't think so. The way a fog light normally works is if you have the high beam on. I didn't test that, but I probably will after the video. If you put the high beam on, it should turn the fog lights off. All right, because they're not supposed to work. You're not supposed to use a high beam in fog. That's what I want to say. All right. So yeah, but I don't think it really matters at all. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, FYI, you're not supposed to use high beams when you're driving through fog. All right. It actually makes it worse. So okay. So the purpose of having the fog light. Yeah. So yeah, if you wanted to just turn the headlights off, let's say like it's like in the daytime, but there's just a lot of fog, you know. And you could see outside perfectly fine, but you want to light up the road underneath you without, you know, blinding yourself. You could actually turn the headlights off the way it is. So you could put it in the running light mode, and just the running light will be on, and the fog lights. All right, and then if you want the headlights to be on, you just turn the headlights on, and everything will be on. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the way everything went. And yeah, so we'll see how it is a couple months down the line. All right, thanks for watching. Hayes Big out.
All right. By the way, I used quite
quite a bit of tools, all right, is what I'll say. I got cutters, I got a drill, pliers, yeah, so taking those things out. Taking stuff out was hard. Installing it was the more difficult, was more easy, okay, because you just kind of just pushed it in and it clipped into place, okay. Soldering iron, you don't have to have a soldering iron. You could use those wire taps if you want, but I wanted to solder it to make it more permanent, right. It's as easy as just snipping the wire if you want to take it out in the future. And then a bunch of screwdrivers and some wrenches. This is my spare wire that I have left over for the trigger wire. And yeah, and then have a tray to put all those clips and screws in. And then I have a grommet right here, box of grommets. So I used a 3/8 grommet, if you guys are wondering. Okay, and it's a tad bit on the big side for the wire that I used. Okay, and lots of electrical tape and zip ties. All right. Also, I have some pictures of the fog lights in the daytime and at night. Okay.